Sorry, audience. Sorry, audience, for the delay. There was the connectivity issue. I hope you will bear with us. A very warm greeting to all. The Government of India has unfurled the new, very ambitious National Educational Policy, which is multidimensional, progressive, which has in its fold the aptitude which would be focused on, and it would be inquiry driven, discovery oriented, and learner centric. This would be a policy where we would see a major change in the face of education in India. Now, I would like our Honorable Principal Ma'am, Dr. Archana Nigam, to apprise us and to explain to us the National Educational Policy. Ma'am, I hand over to you now.
Greetings everyone. It's my pleasure to introduce the new educational policy which I think will give new dimensions, new directions and new strength to the present education system as it will bring revolutionary changes in the education sector. This policy emphasizes on meaningful and practical aspect of education rather than theoretical, as it emphasizes on learning by doing and self-observation outside the classrooms and aims to make the student more innovative, more adaptable and a productive human being. Keeping competency as one of the core values of education, this policy promotes innovation in schools and shifts its focus totally to critical thinking, inquiry-based learning and application of concepts. The purpose again is to prepare future-ready global citizens who perceive change as an opportunity to learn and become lifelong learners. But again, this can be achieved by making both the school and college education more holistic, more flexible, more multidisciplinary, suited to the 21st century skills and aims at bringing about unique capabilities of each student. For this, the school should prepare the students for more rapid changes than before, to learn for jobs which have not yet been created, to use technologies which have not yet been invented. I believe that the foundation and the preparatory stages of school education should be so strong that when the child leaves the school classrooms and enters the big and huge classroom of the world, they become competent and trained to make right choices and take right decisions. Till now I was discussing what the National Education Policy aims for. Now I will decode this policy and tell you how it has been designed to achieve the above objectives. The vision of this policy is to create quality institutions, bring more credibility in the field of education, bring the culture of innovation and also highly skilled force, highly skilled teachers, trainers and education where the workforce is so much skilled that we are able to successfully implement these policies. To begin with, there has been the change in the new curriculum. The new curriculum and pedagogical structure which has put a lot of emphasis on early childhood care and education. Now this educational structure of 10 plus 2 will be replaced by 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4, which corresponds to the age group of 3 to 8, 8 to 11, 11 to 14 and 14 to 18. This new system has 12 years of schooling with 3 years of preschooling. This will bring the preschool, that is the children in the age group of 3 to 6 years, under the school curriculum, which has globally been recognized as a crucial stage of development of the mental faculties of the children. The new pedagogical and curricular structure, which is based on 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 pattern, includes 3 years of Anganwadi or preschooling, which is called the foundational stages, including 2 years of classes 1 and 2. So that makes it 5. At the foundational level, the methodology of teaching would be playway, activity method, multi-level, and totally based on learning. Then when the child reaches the preparatory stage, that is corresponding to 8 to 11 years of age, that is classes 3 to 5, again the methodology of teaching would be playway, discovery, activity based and interactive classroom learning. Then this policy emphasizes on universalization of early childhood care and education and ensures universal access to high quality education right from class 3 at all levels, reaching right from the age of class 3 at all levels, that is from preschool to the secondary level, so that no one is left behind. And the plan to implement this policy is to facilitate multiple pathways of learning, both formal and informal educational modes. Informal educational modes with the help of association of counselors or social workers. Then recognizing that the foundational literacy and numeracy is an urgent prerequisite of learning, this policy lays emphasis on attaining foundational literacy and numeracy skills through national mission, which will be preparing an implementation program for attaining foundational literacy and numeracy in all the primary schools for all learners by grade 3. That is, for classes 1 to 3, the foundational literacy and numeracy will be very, very important to be achieved. The second change in this policy at this age is that mother tongue will be used as a medium of instruction till grade 5 and beyond. Mother tongue or the regional language will be used as a medium of instruction, understanding that the children understand better in their mother language. Sanskrit will also be offered at all levels of higher education, which again includes the 3 language formula, though no language will be imposed. Several foreign languages will be offered at the secondary level, and Sanskrit will also be taken to the secondary and higher levels. Students will participate in a fun project-based activity which is based on the languages of India, and the students will be participating in grades 6 to 8 under the initiative Ek Bharat, Shresht Bharat. Major reforms have been brought in the middle wing, that is, when the child reaches the age group of 8 to 11. All subjects are introduced and are taught at this level, be it any subject, science, geography, maths, history, whatever. Then there is an approach of subject exploration which is multidisciplinary. Here the child tries to explore the subjects more, and the child is introduced to the various subjects so that he develops a liking for the certain subjects which he has to take in future. It is to be understood for all these changes that schools should not undergo any infrastructural changes, but only pedagogical changes are required. Very important aspect of this education policy is the vocational integration of subjects from classes 6 onwards. The children can take up certain local crafts like weaving, carpentry, laundry, and the child will be expected to take 10 days of bagless internship. That is, the child has to learn practically if the child has integrated the local crafts in his curriculum. This will integrate the child, where the child will be introduced to the 21st century skills, and keeping in mind that mathematical thinking and scientific temper are very important at this age. For this, coding has been introduced from classes 6 onwards. Design thinking and artificial intelligence will also be introduced. Now we come to the secondary level, where the teaching methodologies focus more on critical thinking and competency-based learning and experiential learning. Here the changes are that there will be no rigid separation between arts and science, between curriculum and extracurricular activities, and between vocational and academic stream. A lot of flexibility will be given in the choice of the subjects, and the important part is that all subjects will be offered at the same level, that is, all subjects will be given at the same platform. Now, in order to give a lot of flexibility in education, there has to be the reduction in curriculum to core concepts. To enhance essential learning, critical thinking and experiential learning, and to develop coding, computational skills, digital literacy, the measures will be taken to reduce content and modify examination. Measures will be taken to reduce content and modify examination modules so that the child gets time for an all-round development. Now, another change is that the board examinations will be low stake based on knowledge and application. Since the focus shifts from rote learning to deeper understanding and from content based learning to competency based learning, focusing on 21st century skills, so the board examinations have to be low stake. Again, the board examinations are now meant to test the core concepts and application of knowledge, because the purpose of exam is to test the application of knowledge in the daily life rather than rote learning. Then tracking student progress for achieving learning outcomes, and for this, assessment would therefore be more of a critical input rather than an outcome of teaching learning processes. National Assessment Center, that is PARAK, will be set up as a standing setting body to measure the learning outcomes with the help of assessment, review and analysis of knowledge for holistic development. Many assessment reforms have also been brought at the secondary level, and it ensures shift from summative assessment to regular and formative assessments, which is more competency based, and learning and development is supposed to test higher order skills, that is analysis, critical thinking and conceptual clarity amongst the students. Students will take school examinations in grades 3, 5 and 8, which will be conducted by the appropriate authority. Then grade 10 and 12 will have board examinations, but they will be redesigned with holistic development as the aim. Modular exams will also be conducted once or twice in a year, and it is also proposed that separate papers will be set up for objective and descriptive papers. And all subjects will be offered at 2 levels right from mathematics. A very important aspect of this policy is 360-degree holistic progress card of a child. The report card will be comprehensive based on skill plus capabilities and will comprise of academic, practical and co-curricular. The important aspect of these holistic report cards would be that it will have 3 columns. The child will be assessing himself, the child will be assessed by his peers, by his friends, and the third column would be that where the child will be assessed by the teachers. Another important aspect is that the child has to be very adept in attaining any particular life skill of his life. And every year with the help of the discussion with the parents and with the teachers, whatever life skill the child has adopted or the child has skilled himself, so that life skill will be mentioned in the report card. And after 15 years, that is when the child passes the school stage, with the help of artificial intelligence, the child will get to know that what life skills he has imbibed in his life when he was studying in the school. So this will make every child come out adept in at least a few life skills of his life. Then the next provision of this policy is providing inclusive and equitable education system by 2030. This policy ensures funding for inclusive and equitable education to all by providing opportunities to people with disabilities and also children with special needs. Then Gender Inclusion Fund has also been made as one of the provisions in this policy, and a special gender fund will be provided to the disabled girl child, understanding they suffer double disadvantage. Then The basic objective of this policy is to ensure quality education, but this cannot be ensured till the teachers are trained and skilled. So national professional standards for teachers will be developed by 2022, and the teachers will be recruited through transparent processes and promotion and merit-based processes. The minimum degree for teaching the teacher has to acquire will be 4 years of integrated B.Ed degree. Teachers will also be prepared for assessment reforms by 2023, and for this the continuous professional development for teachers has been mandated for 50 hours. That is CPD compulsory for the teachers for 50 hours will be there, so that the teachers are prepared with the assessment reforms. Then this policy again envisages 100% gross enrollment ratio in the preschool to secondary level by 2030. Since we know that there are many dropouts which we have to get and bring them into the mainstream, so this policy has made provision so that there is 100% and gross enrollment ratio in preschool till the secondary level. Then increasing GR to 50% in the higher education from 26% to 50% by 2035. The policy aims at bringing back 2 crores of dropout children. The policy emphasizes and makes such provisions so that these children are brought into the mainstream under NEP-2020 with the help of infrastructure support, innovative education centers, and bringing back the dropouts into the mainstream. Digital libraries, digital infrastructure, digital content and capacity building will be created to look into the educational needs of school and higher education. Integration of technology into all levels of education is also required or will also be provided to improve the classroom processes. Then transparency in all the working and in all the functions is again very, very important to bring more credibility in education. So there will be a system of transparent online self-disclosure for public oversight and accountability. Clear separate systems for policy making, regulations, operations and academic matter will be extensively used for public oversight and accountability. Higher education reforms, the undergraduate program would be now more broad-based, multidisciplinary and holistic. Flexible, creative combination of subjects will be integrated with the vocational subjects. Another important feature of this policy is to bring multiple entry and exit points with appropriate certification. The undergraduate program might comprise of 3 to 4 years. After the completion of 1 year, certificate will be given. After completion of 2 years, advanced diploma. After the completion of 3 years, bachelor's degree, and bachelor's degree with research after the completion of 4 years. There would be no MPhil. And again, a very important feature of this policy is the academic bank of credit, which will be established digitally for restoring academic credits which the student earns from different higher educational institutes and which can be counted towards the final degree. Multidisciplinary education and research universities will again be set up at par with ITs and IMs as models of best multidisciplinary education of global standards. Then the policy also has made provisions for cap on the fees charged by the private institutions. Higher Education Commission of India will be set up to regulate as a single controlling body for higher education excluding medical and legal education. HECI will be functioning through 4 independent verticals and will have powers to penalize any higher educational institute for not conforming with norms and standards. The most important factor or the aspect of this policy is the increase in public investment in education, which is proposed to reach to 6% of GDP, as earlier it was 4%. So these things, these policies, the implementation of this policy is going to bring revolutionary changes in our education sector. In the end, I would just like to say that the National Education Policy has managed to touch the untouched part of the education system of India, and it has attempted to address most of the grievances of the education system and has taken care of all the social and the gender gaps which are existing in this education system. As we know that the teachers are an integral part of this education system, therefore without improving the quality of teaching, quality of education cannot be improved. This perhaps I think is certainly a historic moment for all the stakeholders involved, be it parents, teachers, students, but I am sure that with the implementation of this policy, India will emerge as a great knowledge center and a big education destination in the world. Thank you.